Chapter 4. Crisis Core Reunion. We're jumping into a mission here that's going to enable us to get the... Was it item fusion? And we're taking on a G-Eraser who's also knocking around with a robot, a sweeper. And we apparently have Hellfire level 2, which is a nice bit of luck. Hits for some nice numbers. We've got the silence on him, we've got the poison on him. He's coming in with the baton. It's nice to see. There's the fire spell. Do we absorb it yet? We probably will in time. It's nice to see this earlier version. You don't see him that often if you go through the game pretty quickly. And then we're also now going to do a quick one to get the Moogle amulet. So if you're new to the project, guys, we're going to be going through. This is a walkthrough to get through Crisis Core on hard, but it will be without doing any of the conventional JRPG systems of grinding and getting really good equipment and getting all the best stuff and coming in and hitting like a truck the whole time. We're going to do as little as possible to get the things that we need to be successful. And it turns out the real thing that we needed was to get some familiarity with the Buster Sword, and then once you do that, you're fine. But this is an Arachno, so if you've never fought this monster before, of course it's a machine, so lightning's probably going to be pretty good. This move here has a really weird hitbox, but we have jump now, so we're going to use jump as a pseudo-evade. It has lots of iframes, it lingers really long, and it high-profiles almost everything. So, do your combo. If you see the monster move, wait for the hitbox to happen, and then duck it with jump. And they will never ever hit you if your timing is good. It is unbelievably powerful. This creature has 3 attacks that I know of. It might technically I think it has 4. It has the spider web, which it keeps spamming. It has the EMP field potentially, which is its most dangerous move and he's not doing it. It has the claw attack that it will do when you're in front of it, and it will have the machine gun to shoot at you. And the only thing you want to be careful of is the big EMP field, because if you do a move that moves Zack forward, you will step into it and take massive damage, and you simply can't afford that when you are lower than these enemies. But most of this is simple, and we get lucky there with the DMV, we get the no MP cost so I can continue to spam Dark Thundara and do as much damage as I physically can against this dude. That's something worth mentioning as well. Did you see then where it said null magic and there's a little square down near my HP that's currently decaying? In this game, every so often when the roulettes spin, you get advantageous status effects. Sometimes they'll make you invincible to physical, sometimes they'll make you invincible to magic. They do a lot of different things. Understanding those things is useful, but it's not essential. You can play this game like an action game and just dodge an attack and pick your punches and do what you need to do. But if you pay attention to those things, it's going to help. Like right now, we're getting free crits because of the roulette. And if you see that stuff, use it. You see null physical, get stuck in, trade some hits, you don't have to worry. As long as that square's on your screen, you can't be hurt. You know, if you see that critical one pop up, be more aggressive. Using these systems is going to subvert a lot of the problems you'll face in this game. And we've got a couple of King Scarabs. This is an enemy that needs to get close to you to do any real damage, so you can just mitigate them by jumping and hitting them all. But in this chapter, we're in Midgar, and we're going towards the Slum market. And after we've killed these hedgehog pies that apparently do not like ice, which is nice, I think this is the level where you get some money stealing off you, and you have to navigate the area and look for some kids. And this area, when I was doing it casually on my stream, was really frustrating because the cutscenes are fucking torture and the voice acting is worse. And it's unfortunate too because the story is quite sweet as far as the homage to Final Fantasy VII and kind of helping you connect to those characters, but it's also antiquated and awkward that it's more a test of patience than anything else. And what it translates to here is when you navigate this area, people will have an orange symbol on them for you to interact with. If you interact with people with orange symbols, it generally populates the next trigger to do the next part of whatever this sequence is. And if you ever see the diamond at the top of the screen with numbers on it, it tells you that you can immediately go to your goal. So all we're doing here is scurrying around this area for whoever turns orange, / chasing diamonds, / going to a trigger that we don't know about. And if done correctly, you will zoom through all of these sequences. There's only 2 segments of the game where this is even remotely a problem. This one right here is the boy that took our money, I think, lost some money to these worms, and you have to kill them. This worm attacks really quickly, and it can also slow you down when it hits you with thread, so don't let that happen. That can be really dangerous. But once we've done this, we can get what we need back, and it will transition into allowing us to move the game forward. So it puts us in this playground, and now we have to head back to the Shinra building. But that wouldn't be... It wouldn't be a true JRPG if we didn't have something to kill. So a couple of hedgehogs in our way. We get to dunk on them and have a good time. And then we get the hedgehog and the worm, and both of these enemies are weak to ice for some reason. I wonder if that's because they prefer using fire spells, or if there's something in them that they just can't take the climate, because is Midgard that hot? I appreciate when you have any kind of industry happening around you, it probably generates quite a lot of heat, quite a lot of pollution, quite a lot of lots of things. But it doesn't seem too hot here, does it? You know, it's not like Costa del Sol. But here is some Sahagins with some... I don't know the particular name of these Aramans. What are they called? Let's look at them when we go near them. There's the jump ticker. It is an Araman, it's just a different Araman. And he's weak to ice as well. Everything weak to blizzard. I'm getting so much mileage out of blizzard. And then this guy's weak to fire, of course, because he's from the ocean, one would think. But keep on using your materials, keep leveling them up. It's going to absolutely save your ass later on. And then we take on some assailants now, which is the same enemy we've been fighting for most of the game. Only now, they're all fancy, and we have the ability to jump. But be careful when they throw that, like, kukri blade they've got, because they kind of throw it on odd trajectories, and it's really easy to run into. But it's all well telegraphed, so as long as you're paying attention, it's your fault if you get hit. And it absolutely was mine just then. But I don't recommend hitting these guys with ice, because ice is very easy to whiff. This is a much better opportunity to start spamming lightning, or even fire. But I'm trying to level my ice up, which is the reason I'm using it so much. That's the end of that encounter. On the Mighty Highway, you might remember from Final Fantasy VII. And then there's just two Moth Slashers, which are both robots. These guys look like Shining Abysses from Yu-Gi-Oh! They just haven't quite found the chandelier yet. And all we're going to do here is introduce them to the concept of Emperor Palpatine. True power, right? And then we have more assailants. And the music here is fantastic. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII, there really is a lot of just absolute fanfare going on in these games to tickle those nostalgia endings. I've just covered Prince of Persia Sands of Time, which was a big old nostalgia-gasm for me, but it must be said, when it comes to Final Fantasy, I watched a YouTube video the other day of somebody playing a Final Fantasy composition on piano, and it was really moving. Like, it was unbelievably moving and powerful, because I've not really thought about it in a while, and it just goes to show, doesn't it, how much it means to you if you played those games at quite a formative and developing part of your life. But we have a G-Warrior here. This enemy is a pain in the ass because he's beefy. But he does this repeated kick, and you can bait it, and then when he silences you, it's not a big deal. And then he has a Death Scythe, which is kind of annoying, because it has 2 hits, and if you forget about the second hit, you'll get wrecked. But if you space him correctly, you can do a lot of damage to this monster. And I knew that the jump would kill him then, so I got a little more reckless, but it would have iframed as well. There we go, we take him out as we rush back to Shinra. I love the look of the Shinra HQ building in this game, especially at the beginning. You know when it does that little video, that motion video that it plays, and it does that parallax? I think the building looks exceptional. But look how good the weakness system is. And then we get the Lucky Sevens, which levels us up. Someone on my stream said that the only way to level up in this game is to get Lucky Sevens on the slot. And that seems really insane to me, but I think it's true, isn't it? Which means that if you want to truly level in a game like this, you have to just get lucky, which I think is really fascinating. As we go through the lab that leads to Hojo, but we're going to be doing a couple more missions here, because we're still trying to unlock that secret shop in Wutai. And even Vaj here is getting sick and tired of seeing me. Because if this is the guy I think he is, this is the one that's really hard, because you can't shut down his special move. But we'll see how this goes. Can't remember if it's going to be any different. If you're watching it right now, it means I win, because I haven't kept anywhere I lose in, and I lost a lot, because there's some times where there was nothing happening. I just couldn't do any damage. But we get the crits from the Lucky Star. I'm going to use the jump to go through his hammer. I'm doing a lot of damage right now, and he's getting really aggressive, and it seems like we've pushed him beyond the threshold to do that move I couldn't stop. So this is really good right now, but the problem is, because I notice he's not doing it, I'm going to get reckless, and there's always the chance I'm going to trade with these hits. And if he hits me now, he's probably going to kill me. There's a chance I might survive it, but I probably won't. And it looks like he got so hungry to try and whack me that I can just wreck him. And there we go, Vaj finally goes down. See you later, bitch. Level up that Thundara. And now we're doing Bahamut Fury, another one where jump's very important. So when he stomps on here, if you jump, you can completely avoid it. Now he always does the projectile, right? Oh no, he did the swipe. Nice. Boom. This is the easier version of him. I fought this guy later on and he had a very specific sequence of moves he kept doing. And there it is, we're going to interrupt this now because we've got the big critical hit. See that? Boom. That slow move on the skill at the end of the combo does nuclear damage. We're going to do it again. Boom. Stop doing it, Bahamut, you big scrub. Good idea to learn this enemy's pattern because he turns up later on and he's beefy. He looks amazing though, doesn't he, Neo Bahamut? Really cool boss. I like him a lot. Is this the one you do in the story? This might be the story one, actually, not a mission one. So we're getting all fancy cutscenes and stuff. This is cool. Dude, the modelling is just phenomenal, isn't it? Beautiful game when you think about it. Yeah, we're getting cutscenes. That's actually a story boss, that one. And that's the end of the sequence. So thank you for watching, guys, and you take care now.